Yo. Hello, everybody. How everybody doing? How everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Noah brought the baby. Start him young. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. All right, guys. Let me introduce Nick, 22 years old, guys. They have an $175,000 closed and funded this month. And they're spending only this month right now, they're spending 16K in ad spend between Facebook and Google. So you guys can check those returns, like 11x return, which is insane. It's just a two-person team, and they're virtual. They're currently located in New York. And look at these guys, handsome gentlemen hopping on here and getting us the time of their day, and they making too much money. So thank you, Nick. I'm gonna let you take the floor with it. Thank you so much for showing up, brother.
Courtney, thank you, brother, for having us on the call. I just wanted to go over first how we got started, and then we'll hop into the sales process, how we're locking up deals and stuff like that. So around this time last year, we Teeshan actually had a job, and I told him let's start a wholesale company. I've been trying to start it for a little bit. We were doing SMS, a little bit of cold calling, but then we were like, let's just get right into the inbound stuff. So we started running Google first, only Google, and we actually got credit cards from Chase because we had no money, we had no marketing dollars. So we were like, we both got 30K on credit cards, and the first few months we maxed them out. We were like 30 grand in the hole. So the first like 5 months we didn't close nothing. By the 6 months we started closing deals. Got out of the hole. Teeshan ended up quitting his job. His $80,000 job, went to college for 4 years. Right out of college, had an $80,000 salary, right?
Yeah, salary, yeah.
Yeah, so he was making 80 grand right out of college, and we just think a lot bigger than that. We wanted to do a lot more, so we hopped right into it, and now we're doing this. So this month we're gonna do 175. So yeah, that's how it got started.
That's insane, guys. And these guys been cool since high school, right?
Oh yeah, we've been best friends since freshman year.
And making that work is kind of crazy. You guys know, like, the number one rule: don't miss friends with it. Like, I just saw a post that said, "Hey, go ahead, Nick."
We're together Monday to Sunday. We train together. We eat dinner together. If we're going out on the weekend, we go out together. So we're literally like brothers. So we do everything.
I love that, man. And 80K, you quit a salary paying job to go in on wholesaling.
Yeah. We got big goals, so
let's go. And you guys are achieving them. All right, so from that transitional period right there, boom, 6 months in, you finally get a 20K spread, 30K spread, whatever your first assignment fee. How much was it? Your first deal actually closed and funded?
Our first two deals were like 4 and 5, and then we had like a 25K deal, and it was like, boom, let's we just keep. We're still not even paying ourselves. Like, we're making
really?
105K this month, and we leave it all in the business. We want to just keep investing because we know what it could pump back out, you know? So we're just putting it all back into the business. You know, we'll pay our bills, but we're still living at home. This is a home office. So right now we're just staying lean. I mean, we'll get an office probably in the next 2-3 months, but yeah, we're all about keeping it in the business and pumping it back in, and just delayed gratification. We don't really go shopping, buy nothing. We want to be making 300, 400, 500K a month, and you know this year. So that's the goal.
That's the goal. Dang,
yep.
Hold up. You guys, so you were in debt, right? You guys were in debt when you first started, and then you tell me you still haven't spent none of that money. You're just like, all right, we're just gonna keep on, because I know most wholesalers, as you guys know, I talk to a lot of them. 20K is a lot, you know, especially if you haven't made any money. They get a 20K check and they go to Miami, or they're in LA, or they're in Vegas, and they're going all crazy. Hey, bet it all on black, and then they come back and they don't have the money for marketing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it was none of that.
No, we don't even go shopping. Like, we don't do none of that. So
dang.
I mean, what we'll do once in a while is go out to dinner. Like, after this month, we'll definitely go get a nice steak or something. Until we could buy supercars, we're probably not gonna spend any money.
Dang, okay, that's a big jump right there. So supercars. Okay, so let's talk how you was able to afford these supercars, or at least on that train to afford them. So when you hopped in, when you guys noticed, hey man, we've been at this junk for 6 months, 4 months, and we haven't closed the deal just yet. What did you guys have to tweak? Was it the sales process? Was it the marketing that you guys were using? What was that transitional period and that mindset shift that you guys had to change to get out of Hold on, because basically you guys had, I'm pretty sure Teeshan, you was still in school. Your mom probably was like, hey, man, this ain't working. You've been at it for 4 or 5 months. Or they probably were supportive, but you probably had people in your ear like, this ain't working. Keep your job. And you got probably had people
Yeah,
in you guys' ear and stuff like
probably.
that.
Yeah, everyone, friends, family, they're all gonna say like, "Oh, you're being delusional." Like, why would you quit? Like, why would you give up that opportunity that this job gave you? But yeah, at the end of the day, like, you want to be something big, you want to do big things, you want to work for yourself. Like, it's gonna be a risk, but without big risk, there's no big reward. Yeah, and
Exactly.
the biggest thing for us is like, even when we were 30K in the hole, I woke up excited every single day, like I had millions in the bank, because I know we're eventually going to get there. If you focus on something and you keep attacking and you don't quit, you can't fail. And that is the truth about everything in life. So even if it's not working, if you keep waking up and keep getting after it and keep, changing and thinking, it's gonna eventually work. Especially if you got two guys who will never quit no matter what, it's gonna eventually work out. So
That's what
and
I'm talking about. And you guys are like super in shape. I follow you guys on Instagram, so you guys are super workout fanatics. Do you guys think that discipline that transformed over like far as and you guys hitting macros and hitting the gym consistently to stay in the shape you guys in transforming it to like the business as well, far as in being that disciplined with money? Because I ain't gonna lie, if I was in debt, man, I got 20, 30 grand. I'm the one that I was talking about that's gonna be in Miami. But
yeah,
I had to make those mistakes when I first started off. You know what I mean? As far as the spending, I make it, dude, and I spend it before I even made it. I know that wire's coming. Trust me, I already took a loan out before it can get here.
yeah.
Had a chime
I
card
mean,
for payday. No, I'm kidding. Go
we eat
ahead.
pretty much the same thing every day. Like we've been athletes our whole lives. Like I since even after graduating high school, I was fighting MMA. The goal was never to start a business. The goal is to be a UFC champion, actually. And then
Hey,
after blowing my knee out 4 times, I knew that wasn't going to happen. So, but I knew I wanted to make a ton of money and make a difference. So you just
and here we
transition, but all that discipline going into sports, training, everything else, how hard that is. If you could take that and put it into business, you're going to do it better than 99% of people, because they've never had that discipline their whole life. So us going to the gym every day, sometimes I'm at the gym too much, and it's almost a distraction for me. So I
I
gotta
love that though.
lay off the
But
gym a little bit. But yeah,
okay, okay,
no, but
man, dude, you look like it though. That's the thing about I like about the gym. If someone goes to the gym, you can look and say, "Hey, you go to the gym," right? Like you could tell. Like I'm in fairly decent shape. If I walk past somebody and I know they go to the gym, you just give that. I know you also put yourself through suffering to get to where you're at right now. It's kind of more like, all right, you done it too. Because I drive a Raptor, and I'm pretty sure you guys that drive Lamborghinis drive a nice car. You see another Lamborghini, you're gonna be like, all right, I know you bust your ass for that car. So the
yeah,
same thing for like a nice body. So that's kind of good. So we transition, we use all of that energy, that discipline into the sales process. So Nick, before everybody hopped on, you said you're doing the acquisition, and Teeshan here is doing the dispo. I think a lot of people are probably struggling with some acts. So let's talk about your process. How you think your process is different, and let's get these guys some insightful stuff. And guys, on this, take notes and also ask questions and say, hey, I'm doing this different. What do you think about this? You guys are more than welcome to chime in as well. All right, guys?
yeah,
So you
yeah,
guys know.
absolutely. So the number one key point is, if a lead comes in, the the first 60 seconds, get on the phone with the lead, send them a text, and call them 3 times. I always, as soon as a lead comes in, I'm calling it like as soon as it comes in. If we're in the gym and a lead comes in, I'm in another room calling the lead. If I'm out, let's say with my family, or it's a Sunday and I know Teeshan's home and a lead comes in, I text T, yo, T, call that lead, on it. Like, we are constantly on our phones. If you text me, I'll probably respond within 5 seconds, and people are just like, dude, how like, my brother will call me. I'll answer on the half of the first ring, because like I always have my phone on me. So if a lead comes in, we are hitting it within 30 seconds to a minute. If they do not
That's
answer,
insane.
we're calling it 2 more times, back to back to back. And if they still don't answer, they're getting a text from me. And I have 3 different numbers. So I'll call them from other numbers. I'll text them from other numbers. Like, they're getting hit from multiple different angles. And then they go into our automation, which we have in our CRM. It hits them for 10 days straight. an email and a text, an email and a text for 10 days. After that, we're still calling them every single day for 10 days. And if they're still not picking up, they go into automation for the next 36 months. And it's always following up with them. And majority of the times, if they don't answer on the first ring or like the first 24 hours, we'll get them a week later and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, I was really busy, or whatever the case may be. So I would say speed to lead is the most important, because they're going to be calling someone after you or filling out another form. And if you don't sell them on that first call, you just lost that deal. You just lost 10, 15, 20 grand. So speed is absolutely the most important for us.
So, dude, within a minute is crazy. We tell everybody within 5 minutes, because everybody know that study, like, it loses motivation, 80% of the motivation after 5 minutes, because you kind of like hit on it, Nick, and you said that basically they're going to be filling out somebody else's form.
Yeah.
Right, so we can literally just go and look at easily, like Google PPC. If I'm filling out a Google ad or a Facebook ad, I'm going to click on the next guy. Like if I'm price shop, if I know I have a property I need to sell, I'm not going to fill out one form and wait for you to call me or wait for you to text me. I'm going to fill out this form right here, then I'm going to go fill out the next one and see if I can get the best price.
Right, right. And people will literally tell me, like, if they don't answer, oh, I'm sorry, 50 people were calling me. But now we're on the phone with them because of our automation. And yeah, speed to lead is really, really important. So I would say that's number one, is speed to lead. Number two is setting the stage when you get on the phone with the seller. Like setting the stage, meaning, hey, my name is Nick. You know, this is exactly what we do. This is what this looks like. Let's see if we could possibly help you. So my lines are like, seller gets on the phone. Hey, how you doing? I saw you just filled out one of our forms on Facebook. I was just reaching out. I saw you were considering selling your property. Is that right? Yes. All right, great. Well, tell me why you're selling the property. Maybe I could possibly help you. It's we can't help everybody, and we want to like lower the guard. So I always say maybe and possibly, because we don't know if we're definitely the right fit for you. There might be better options than me. So
You say that?
Yes, there may be better options than me, but let me see if you're the right fit for us. I talk to 10 people a day, 10 homeowners call me a day. Typically only 2 are the perfect fit for us. Let's see if me and you could work together and if you're the perfect fit. That just lowers the seller's guard so that they know, all right, we're going to see if we're the perfect fit. And then we just go into our sales process. They tell us automatically why they're selling, what their motivation is, and you're qualifying the lead as they're telling you why they're selling the house. And then something I really like to say is, all right, well, are you looking for the simplest process or the highest price? Well, I'm looking for the simplest process. I'm just looking to sell this within 30 days and, you know, looking to get it off my plate, whatever reason that they're selling the house. Okay, great. Well, you know, typically, if you were to wait longer, you could get more money, which we could do that for you. But if you're just looking to sell really quick, let's get right into it, and we'll see what we could do for you. How much are you looking to get for the property? They'll tell us.
My bad, Nick. I don't mean to cut you off. And at what stage of the call you in? Are you like 10 minutes in the call before you're actually asking about price? Or are you 20, 30 minutes in the call after rapport building? At what level, like if you was to average out the time, where you at in the call before you bring up price?
So yeah, typically I go onto motivation first and just building rapport, asking them, all right, why are you selling the house? Is there anyone else opposed to you selling the property? We have a bunch of questions that we go through, and I could pull them up. I don't know them offhand, but we have a bunch of questions that we ask to make sure that they're ready to make a decision today, and that we're talking to the decision maker that wants to sell the property. So,
okay, I'm curious about this, Nick, because you guys are doing your thing. Because you locked up a lot of contracts when you first came on. I was like, this is insane. I was shocked when Nikita told me. Okay, so man, I just talked to this one guy, and he was a smart guy. He'd been in the industry for a while. I don't know if he's on this call. He probably show up. And you were saying you get a lot of information from an inbound lead. Like you get the reason they want to sell, how soon they want to sell. He's like, Courtney, honestly, that sounds enticing for the newbies, right? To come into all the information. As soon as they fill that out, I take it for a grain of salt. He's like, I'm still gonna ask them that information regardless, because they could have lied on the form. So is it the same like when you're doing that questionnaire process? Because there's some guys I listen to some clients' calls, and they're like, Hey, yeah, because they put on the form, I want 250,000. They be like, hey, how much you want for the property? Like literally, this is a 3-minute call or a 2-minute call. Hey, how much you want for the property? Oh, I want 250 grand. Okay, I'll refer you to a realtor. And literally, like, I'm not even kidding. There was somebody in our like a 2-minute that was a client of ours, and I was like,
Yeah, no, I typically I don't like to look at what they fill out on a form because I don't even look at the form. I'll figure it out. Like it's the form is if you look at the property and you're looking at the form and the house is worth 250 and they're asking 250, you're it's like you just you think it's not a deal already. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I don't even look at it just because I'm talking to a motivated seller. We're going to give them multiple different options. I'm going to try and get them to think they're stupid for not working with me. So even if I'm not the buyer, okay, I'm not the buyer. You want this amount of money? Let's see if I could go get you that amount of money, whether it's a novation or whether I just put it on a database that we pay $60,000 a year for. Let's see if we could go get you that number that you want. And if you want to work with us and you like what I'm saying and everything like that, let's work together. And then you just negotiate with them from there because they don't want to talk to 20 people. They want to work with one person that they like and that they trust emotionally, logically, everything like that. So I just try and get the seller to trust me and to want to work with us, whether we're buying it or whether I just straight up tell them, listen, I'm going to go get you a buyer. We always pitch cash first. I always try and pitch creative finance second, no matter what. Third is always, let me go try and find you a cash buyer within 30 days. If that's not good enough and they're willing to wait 90, we're going to list it on the market. We're going to get you the number that you want, but you're not going to have to deal with a realtor. I'm going to give you a net price that we could give you in 90 days or less. And you're not going to have to worry about it. A to Z, we're going to take care of everything. And that also, that sells a lot of people like, oh, I'm not going to have to deal with 10 showings or anything like that. Like, I'm just going to be talking to Nick and that's it. A lot of people like that. So
Exactly, exactly. What did
I'm
you guys fall out rate?
4
Oh,
or
go
5
ahead.
different things during a call.
So what is the average time length of your calls?
On a good call, 30 to 40 minutes.
What is your average time on a one call close?
One call close, I would say I like it to all be 30 minutes so that that seller has talked to me enough that they like and trust me. And because if you close them in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and you call them a few hours later, they probably sign with somebody else already.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they haven't built enough rapport with you. Exactly.
yeah, like they don't even know me. I want to get to know them. And another thing is that I just started doing 2 weeks ago is we had 3 deals in New York. All 3 of them we're gonna make 30 grand on. And all 3 sellers ended up going different routes. I don't know what I did wrong on the call, but we signed the sellers. Everyone signed. We find the buyers like a week later. So that's 90 grand coming in. We lost all 3 deals because they all signed with somebody else. And the reason why is because when I go over the contract now, I'm not scared to tell them if you go and try and stab us in the back, we do have things in this contract that we could legally come after you for that. So if me and you are going to work together, I want to point out this clause in the contract. We can fine you for this. We could put an affidavit and memorandum. That means we'll cloud the title. This just basically shows them that we are serious about buying the property. If you try and backdoor us, we're not going to let that happen. If something happens where you need to cancel with us, we're human beings. We're here to help you. We'll absolutely let you out of the contract. But if we're going to do a deal and someone tomorrow offers you 5 grand higher, ethically, that's not right for you to do that to us because we're spending money right away as soon as we sign this contract. We're moving and we're sending it to title and paying for title and stuff like that. So after me going over the contract with them and showing them that we will come after you if that happens, which I don't know if we actually would waste
Yeah.
time.
Well, probably
It
so. That's a
kinda,
client. He literally goes after them, and he make probably like a good 50 grand a month. off of just memos. Okay, yeah, just because it's like you said, it's a big people like always sign with someone else. It's like, oh, you can give me 10 grand more, and then the stress situation, 10 grand is a lot to him, right? Okay, JT dropped a good question in the chat, and he said, "What did you guys fallout rate?"
Fallout rate, I would say out of 8 deals that we have wrapped up, we'll have one that falls out, whether we can't get a buyer or title issues or something like that. So we do everything we can. I think we've closed some of the most impossible deals, like crazy deals we've closed. For example, tomorrow we're making 30K on a deal in Buffalo, New York. This deal was like long gone, but we drove 5 hours on a Sunday. We woke up at 3 a.m. I said, yo, we're going to the seller's house. We're going to figure this out. This guy ended up getting sick, going to the hospital. Like, all this stuff started happening. He said, I'm not selling you the house. And we just went. We met with him at his house, talked to him. And a week later, he's in the hospital. We sent the notary to the hospital, got him signed, and we're closing it tomorrow. And his house was going to go to auction. We actually saved his house. And yeah, so that's one example.
Really? So 1 out of 8, man, dude. You know what I mean? You got Teeshan tell another one.
To add to that story, the reason why we drove up there, because probably for a week and a half straight, he went ghost. He stopped answering our phone calls. We knocked on his door that morning. His wife answers the phone and says, yeah, the seller's upstairs. And the reason why he stopped answering us is because he had a serious medical condition where his legs literally stopped working. And he was just laying there on the floor. Like, that's why he stopped answering us, because he felt that he literally can't even move out of this house, like he can't even walk anymore. So why would I sell my property? Like, why would I just sell this house? I can't even move anymore. So we helped him. We literally picked him up physically, put him in a chair. We talked to him for 2 hours. We explained to him we're going to help him. We got him in the hospital. We got him what he needs. We're going to get storage for her. We're going to find the wife a new home. We're going to put all the stuff in storage, and did all this stuff. And that was the only reason we're about to close this deal tomorrow. So
Yeah.
sometimes it takes like you do the extra little things and it'll pay off. We never knew it was going to pay off. We took a risk driving up there, who knows? Like, they can easily refuse to answer the door, but it ended up working out. So
A 5-hour drive.
5-hour drive. Yep.
Dang. And 2 hours talking to him, and now you guys gonna make 30K. And then 5 hours on the way back. Dang, that's what, like $2,500 an hour. I'll take that drive any day. You pay me $2,500. I'm literally driving to Alabama for Thanksgiving. I ain't even getting paid for the ride. And that's an 8-hour drive for me. And then you guys got paid for yours. But like you said, the intention wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna go here, like, and help this guy and hopefully he sell me the house. It's like, all right, we already drove here, so let me just also help you and best serve you. And it's like, if I get something out of it, cool. And then he was like, man, actually, if I was to call that guy, let's say before you actually got the buyer for it and got it locked up and signed and everything, if I was to call him and offer him an extra $5,000, he wouldn't have went with me. Because you guys built that level of rapport with him. You picked him up. Like, there's nothing, you know what I mean? You picked him up and you drove and saw him, and majority of everybody's virtual. So you picked this guy up and you were like, hey, yeah, dude, let's just chat and let's just talk. And I may actually help you out of the situation. I'll get you a storage and talk him through it. So if somebody did want to call him, and offer him an extra 10 grand, he probably wouldn't have sold the property to him. Because he was like, yeah, no, I met these great guys, Nick and Teeshan, and they're just phenomenal. Dude, that was really, really, dang. Now I see why you guys are doing what you guys are doing. That's what I'm talking about.
You just gotta figure out what kind of fire you have to put out with the seller. So what's their issue? Why are they gonna take your offer over somebody else's? 95% of the time, the sellers, they're gonna go with the best price. Obviously, like, your sales process has to be on there, but everyone's going to be offering 1,000 higher, 5,000 higher. They might want to call a few more people, but like, hey, what do you really need, like, right now? For example, a guy in Florida, we made 40K off of. He needed to move into a condo the next week, and the wholesalers before, they dropped the contract, the buyer fell out, whatever happened, and he had a way higher offer than what we offered him. And we said, like, what do you need? Like, why do you need to go so quick? He said, I need to put $10,000 on a condo. I said, done. I'll put the 10 grand on the condo, sign with us. We put $10,000 down on his condo so he could move into his condo. We ended up making 40K on the deal. So you got to figure out ways to get the deal, like really figure out what they need, and they'll be willing to go with you instead of other people. So
Dang, I love that. I love that. Okay, so we heard of Florida in there. I heard of New York, Buffalo. Also, JT dropped another question. How did you guys go about choosing your market?
well, New York, because we're in New York, and assignment fees are pretty high here. It's a pain in the ass because it's like 45 to 60 days for closing. Attorneys kind of suck, but it's what it is. You know, the fees are pretty good. Florida, we love because everyone buys in Florida. You know, we get a deal in Florida. It's hot. So obviously we're in Florida. Ohio and Pennsylvania, we feel like we just get more volume there. The fees aren't as high, but I feel like there's more distress in those markets, and we get, you know, quite a few deals in all four of those. We've done some deals in South Carolina too, not as many, and only a few in Texas and stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just trying to knock out some of the questions because we've been getting questions for a while.
Yeah.
So I did hear you said Buffalo. It took you a week to disp or you was finna close it in a week, something like that. What did you guys? Teeshan is probably a good one for you. What did you guys average cash conversion cycle from locking it up on the contract to actually getting that money in your account?
So I would probably say in attorney states like New York, it's a little while. I would say 45, 60 days. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, within 30 days. It's quick. Honestly, we're getting better and better now. When it gets into title, you really got to push title. Title's a whole other. I would say acquisition is one thing, disposition is one thing, and then title's
a whole nother job.
Title's a job itself, you know. So you're not pushing title. If you're not on top of title, they're gonna be as slow can be. Because I don't know why, but to me, they're hourly, like they're working on an hourly, you know, wage, and they don't care if your file gets closed or not. But for us, we're trying to push the file as fast as possible, get it done. We're on top of them. I'm on top of title probably 6 times a day. The same for each file. You know, I'm like, where are we at? I'm probably like the most annoying person to work with, but that's the only way to push a file through is if you're on top of them, you know?
If you want to be prioritized, but you're bringing the title company so much money. So that's kind of good. That's kind of smart. All right, we got another one. Vincent said, do you guys need to visit the property or the seller? Not all of them you guys go to. That was Buffalo, was right at you guys' wheelhouse. I'm pretty sure you didn't go to the
That was the only one we went to this year.
Okay.
So we've closed, I mean, we're closing like 12 to 15 a month now. We don't see any of them.
Okay. Dang, dude, just 2 people. That is insane. The band, I know you guys are probably, well, you guys don't do that much. I know you guys are probably going crazy. Man, dude, I would go insane. You bringing on, you know, I'm bringing on 20 contracts and I'm trying to sell 20 contracts. Like, dude, it's just endless stuff. When are you guys going to hire next? Like, what is you guys next hire?
Well, well, first of all, your marketing guys are going to be your best hire. Guys like Courtney are Google guys pretty well. And those are to me, the 2 most important. And what else I hired out because it was just taking up too much of my time was our TC. So we have a TC that handles all the files, and we're still on top of all of that. But it takes a lot less of my time. But I would say the next hire, I'm not really sure. That's something that we're always talking about and game planning about. You know, we got to get an office and start hiring people for sure.
Okay. Javon asks, which attorneys do you use in New York?
If he drops his number in the chat or something or DMs me, I could send him a bunch. Is he in New York? He does deals in New York?
I know I'm pretty sure because he said attorneys do suck in New York. He's not lying. So I'm pretty sure he's probably in New York. He have to know that. Okay.
Yeah. I found one really good one. So if he wants to hit me up, I'll send it to him.
All right. What's your Instagram? I'll just throw your Instagram in here better. What is it again?
Nick Scancarello 2.
Okay.
You saw that?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just copy it off of Zoom right here, literally. Well, Natalie, can you drop it in the chat for everybody? Or shoot it to me, and I'll drop it in the chat. Okay, so we're gonna send that. You can hit him up. Okay, we got a lot of questions coming in, guys. Hold on, let me scroll up. Okay, we got Kevin saying, "How much are you spending a month in ad spend?" And yes, he also do Google as well. So he do Google and us, and you're currently spending, when I asked, 8K in both in ad spend right now.
Yeah,
So
so
60
8K on Google, 8K on Facebook. So this month, this is our first month with Courtney. We spent $8,000. I got, I think, 6 or 7 contracts done.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
don't even want you to say that, right? Like it's nice that you say that, but never about everybody get those results. Now people on YouTube, guys, disclaimer: you're not gonna come in here and get those type of results. You just gotta be good. You know, a
Yo,
lot of you guys
can
probably
you
like, yeah, I
explain
didn't
it?
get those results when I first came in.
Hey,
Right,
Courtney.
Vincent? What's up, brother?
Absolutely. Hey, brother, how are you? Hey, can you
Good.
can you walk us through, like, hey, picking up the phone, making a deal, not seeing the property, and then going to contract, and then like walk the team through, like, how does that look? How does those next 7 days when everybody's all over it? How do the deals not die? How do you get it to go to that point where you make a deal, you underwrite it, you value it? Walk us through that process if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So, um, I mean, like I said, a lead comes in, it's hit within the first minute. We go through our sales process, which we have a script written out that I wrote. And yeah, the first 7 days are definitely the most important. What I do is I send a email with the attached agreement to the seller after they sign, saying congratulations on the sale of your home. We send a drafted email to them, and they have a copy of the agreement. And then we have title reach out to them the next day, and then it's me and Teeshan talking to them. We also send them an access document where, what times are you home? You know, if it's vacant, where can we get the key? You know, just the first like 3-4 days, we're in contact heavy, so that they know it's happening, and they're very confident that it's going to happen, that they're selling their property, and we're the ones buying it.
I completely appreciate that. And by the way, Courtney, I'm just wrapping up my first deal. I just joined with you. Like, I'm going on 60 days now. So I just got my first deal like under contract. So thank you. And but I just want to say, like, guys, I love what you guys are doing. I love the energy. So just walk me a little, because I'm dealing with leads. I'm getting 50 people that are, I'm responding to. I'm texting them. I'm emailing them. I'm picking up the phone. I'm hounding them, and a lot of them, they fall through the cracks. But I love your 4 process of like step 1 through 4. You can help them quick cash deal, solve your problem, realtor a little more further. So you let them know, full transparency. Hey, I'm going to lock up your deal, and you know what? Here's my cash price. If I don't do it in a cash price, I'm going to try and wholesale it. And they're all cool. They're all cool with that. How do you underwrite that, knowing that you're not overpaying? How do you keep the deal, have enough meat in it to like be able to give those 4 options and actually do what you say you're going to do?
Yeah, so the first is always trying to wrap it up as low as possible, where you can wholesale it and make money. But if the seller is a motivated seller, and I know they're asking a little too much, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go show them 5 offers from cash buyers and be like, listen, this is what cash buyers in the area are willing to pay. We've sent this out to thousands of people. 10 people got back to us. 5 people are really interested. This is what they're willing to pay. And the reason we do that is because if a seller is calling me, I know that if I don't work with them and take care of them, that somebody else is gonna just tell them, yeah, I'll buy your property, and waste 30 days. I know if I could wrap it up and then tell them this is what the buyers are willing to pay, I can negotiate a little bit and kind of bring them to light. Your property is really not worth this, but this is what they're willing to pay. They're willing to pay, let's say he wants 105 and all the offers are coming in at 90 and 95. He knows I'm making like $5,000 on it when we do those kind of deals. I'll tell him, I'm going to make $5,000. I'll tell him, listen, all the cash buyers, these are the offers that we have right now. If you go in and you try and sell it to somebody else, like, you're going to be hitting up the same exact people as we are, and we're hitting up thousands of more. you could only call a few people a day, 10 people, 20 people, and you probably don't want to negotiate with 20 people a day. You probably don't want to, you don't know these people. You don't know if they're real buyers or if they're just going to waste 30 days of your time. You know, the buyers that we bring, they're going to put down money that day and we're going to get this thing closed for you. So whether we say we're the buyer and we wrap it up at a good price where we know we're going to sell it, or we wrap it up at a price that we know maybe it's a deal, maybe it's not, but let's bring them some offers. So at least we could bring them to light to where they're like, all right, this is what my property will sell for. Let's just do the deal.
Oh, so okay, so Nick, I like that tactic. So you're saying basically, if you like, let's say you trying to stuck in a negotiation phase and stuff like that, like, oh yeah, my house is worth way more than that. You're like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and see how much you'll actually assign it to a cash buyer for, and you come back to them and say, hey, here are like 5 offers of what people would be willing to pay for in your area.
Right.
I gotta make me some money off of it too.
Exactly. So I'll say, okay, well, listen, I can't buy it for that price because if I could buy it for that price, there's a huge possibility that I'm going to lose money on the deal. But we have a database that has every single cash buyer in every single zip code in the US. Now you could go call 20 people and have 20 negotiations with people that are probably going to waste your time. But if you work with me, what I'm going to do is I'm with a click of a button, I'm going to send it out to every single cash buyer in your zip code. I'm going to bring you offers on a silver platter and get it done for you within 30 days, the same time frame. We're going to see what the buyers are willing to pay, and I'm going to charge them a finder's fee at closing.
So you're selling it before you're buying it, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, bye. And by the way, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm also a New York guy. And Courtney, I love what you're doing. And Salma, thank you. I'm going to throw a shout out to Salma because she's the best too.
Awesome. Thank you, Vince. It showed up and gave the whole team a shout out. Thank you, Vince. We'll greatly appreciate you too, brother, man. But I can tell you from New York. I can just hear it without even seeing your face. That's kind of crazy. You can tell a New Yorker is a New Yorker, like a Texan, and you know somebody in the deep South. That's so funny, but that's the U.S. for you, and I love it. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got some more questions in here as well. You keep saying the database. Are you talking about Investor Lift? Because everybody asking where you're getting the buyers from.
Yeah, Investor Lift, and we also bring up that we've been building our cash buyers and networking with people for the past few years. So we have thousands of people that are going to see this, and we're going to be getting offers within 72 hours to bring to you to show you what they're willing to pay.
Got you. And have that have any effect with like you guys choosing your market? So you in Florida and you like, hey, all right, we had some time building a buyer list here in Florida, or did you run ads or like start marketing first? Once you got deals, you were looking for this is before Investor Lift. Then you were like getting deals out there, and then you're like, hey, I need to find a buyer. How was that?
So when we didn't have Investor Lift, when I have a few VAs that are on Facebook, just always making posts and just Google Sheets full of buyers in every single different county that we're marketing to. So when we get a deal in that county, our VA blasts out the deal, and then Teeshan's responding, selling them on the property, setting up appointments and stuff like that. Now we do both. So we send out an email blast and we have Investor Lift. But when we didn't, we just have VAs on Facebook getting all the buyers. I never really networked with enough we want to network with more agents because we know that's a good way to bring buyers, but we've done everything off like just Facebook buyers and stuff like that.
Kevin, what are you having more trouble with right now? And I saw Taryn jumped in here earlier too.
It's mainly the lead flow right now, keeping the lead flow consistent. But I think we're doing all right with acquisitions and dispositions.
Okay.
We have 2 kind of tricky ones. I don't know if you guys, Nick, if you guys are dealing with this, but you guys like say that you get a commercial unit, land, stuff like that. Do you guys have a very specific buy box that you guys are focusing on?
I mean, not really. Every lead that comes in, I just try and make it a deal. We've never done a land deal ever, and a piece of land came in and we assigned it for $15,000. And we've never done a land deal. Like we just took a look at it, said, yeah, this looks like a good price, and did it. And one of my best friends in Westchester, he owns like 100 units in Westchester. So if I need help with a multifamily deal, if that's coming in, I just send it to him because he could underwrite it better than anyone. and he actually just got a 10 unit under contract in upstate New York which we're going to try and sell, but we don't really get any commercial or land. It's mostly just single family houses, which is our bread and butter. But yeah.
Okay, so like the process of tracking, because you guys sent us a full detail sheet. So how big are you on like the tracking? Are you tracking everything, or I mean every day? Or are you doing like end of days? Because it's just you're not managing acquisition guys. So is it like, hey, I made this many dials? Do you have like a KPI or like a standard of I'm gonna do at least this many dials a day, give this many offers a day?
Honestly, that's stuff that we need to work on, like KPIs, tracking stuff more. I mean, from the time I sit down to the time I leave here, I'm calling people. Even if I run out of follow-ups for the day, I'm texting people and I'm calling more people to try and bring leads back alive that haven't answered in a while. And just, I usually, from the time I sit down, from the time I leave, I'm following up with old leads. I'm answering new sellers, leads coming in and stuff like that. So I never really track my calls. It's just from the time I sit down to the time I leave here, I make sure I'm on the phone making dials. And
Okay.
yeah. No,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. So my next thing I wanted to ask was, man, when you're doing that follow-up, you're doing those follow-up texts, and are you like customizing it? Because you got so many leads in your database now. Are you customizing it, or you just got it in the auto? Like just like
We
automatic
have it
automation?
in an automation that Teeshan made. So we have a few different ones. Like if it's not a motivated seller at all, we have an automation that just texts them once a month. If they're like follow up with me or they're not too interested, but you could probably make it a deal, it's every 2 weeks they're getting a text. New leads that come in, they're getting hit every 10 days.
Okay, man, that. Some people will say that's aggressive, but that's why you're closing and
No,
funding.
every 10 days they're getting hit.
Yeah, every 10 days. I like that. I like, dude. And you get into the leads within, so like you said, like honestly, if you're sitting down, you saying you don't move from sitting down until like, let's say I get a contract or I talk to somebody today. It's more of like that mind. But that's, dude, you probably put what 405 on your chest, which is I think is crazy because
Not
one wrong move, guess what happens? You like your life's over with. You know what I mean? So you're probably a risky guy, and you're very disciplined, and I can see that by your pictures on Instagram. You're a super disciplined guy. Man, so okay. Also, Mark said, "What CRM you guys use?" I don't know if you guys answered that earlier.
I'll go high level.
Okay, go high level. Okay, you liking go high level?
Yeah, I like it. It's a little slow sometimes, but I like it. You could almost do too much with it. Like I'm still trying to figure out what
What to do?
Keyshawn's more good at that stuff. I just want to call people and close people.
Okay, man, dude, that's what I'm talking about. And Noah, that's what I'm talking about, brother, man. You got the first one on the contract. It's heating up. Yes, sir. Things are getting hot right now. I think this is a beautiful time, guys, right now. Like this year, I know a lot of people are scared. They're pulling out of marketing. They're like, oh, snap, I don't know what's going to happen with the market. But it's guys like you guys are closing deals consistently. We're having insane amounts because, man, the team, we went down to see like how many clients got contract this month. So if you guys haven't filled out your Google Sheets, please fill out your Google Sheets. And we were like, by far, what we're doing is succeeding what we did last month. I'm like, dude, the market is coming up. Like the market's supposed to be crashing right now, but our clients are making way more money and we're having way more success and stuff like this. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with the market right now, but I guess the winners win and the losers lose. I guess we're in that time. So whoever going the hardest. And I think these are like two brilliant guys. So I personally talked to these guys and personally brought them on myself. And probably one of the easiest calls I ever been on. Like far as and I noticed like any and everybody that's easy in the sales process, man, they're just sales guys. Cause sales recognize sales. And they were like, dude, I got this problem. What's the solution to the problem? Show them that you can fix the solution. They was like, all right, let's do it. First month they came on, 8 contracts. I'm like, dude, who are you guys? I thought you guys were gonna come in and we had on a action plan and they was gonna close the deal in the second month. And Nick's on the call, like, yeah, dude, let's increase ad spend. I'm like, what? It shocked me when I seen it. I'm like, let's increase ad spend. But like, that's what I'm talking about. You guys came in it, running at it. You guys not skipping out on any leads. You're making sure you're not missing anything. And dude, I love that for you guys. I'm trying to see what you guys can do when you hit that 300K. You remember you guys said on that call, I don't know if you remember it. I don't have it recorded, but you guys said you're going to buy me that AP watch as soon as you hit 300K.
Yeah, I'll buy you 2 of them.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about right there. Before you get the supercars, you guys heard it here. It's recorded and it's going on YouTube.
I just wanted to say this too. We were running Facebook before we started with Courtney for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, just money going out the door. And it was just not working. We were either getting the total wrong leads, a bunch of spam or and stuff like that. And I saw Courtney on a podcast. And if you're a wholesaler trying to get into the business and you're not willing to put the credit card down and spend the money and put it into the marketing, put it into your business, just go work a 9 to 5. This ain't for you. If you are not willing to put money into your business, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, just go work a 9 to 5. It's a lot easier and you're way better off. But first month with Courtney, like you said, we got 7 or 8 contracts, and I'm sure some of those follow-ups from those leads that came in this month are going to be even more. So I ran Facebook with a few different guys, and you know, these by far are fire leads. So
Don't flatter me, Nick. I already love you, brother, man. You're just see, that's what I'm talking about.
So Nick, going from like 10, 20, 30,000 a month all the way up to 175K, like that's a fucking big jump, man. Like what was the one thing, like for a nugget for everybody here, like what was, if it was one thing that made a huge difference from going to, you know, those numbers all the way up to those big numbers, like what would you say it is? Is it mindset? Is it, you know, sales? Like what would be your input there?
I mean, yeah, mindset is sure, it's everything, but you got to pivot. Marketing is huge. If you don't have leads, you don't have deals. So it's not always like you want all the leads. It's more like you just want constant lead flow, and like that's real. I would say that's it. Just constant lead flow got us to, you know, doing only 1 or 2 to, you know, now we're doing 12 to 15 is because we got the marketing locked in with the right guys and we're getting constant leads. So we're locking up contracts almost every single day.
And just
That
Love
is-
it.
say before, like not being scared to spend the money. Like we made 30,000 one month, like we put it back in, like it's not going anywhere else. Like if we made 100,000 this month, like if I could, if Facebook allows me to, I know we're not supposed to, I would put the 100,000 right back in and try to make $1 million the next month, you know,
Yeah.
like
Well, just you two. See, that's what I'm talking about. And it's just so 50, which is kind of crazy. 12 to like 20 deals a month, just two, like that part. The bandwidth. How many hours are you guys working a week? That is my question, because that is insane.
Monday to Sunday we're here. I get into the office around 7 and we leave around 6 or 7. But if we got leads coming in, like we're not leaving the office. And then we go to the gym, we're training, and then we're back here the next day. So
I got a question. What are y'all's? I know you said you're not really tracking KPIs right now, but as far as like your leads to contracts to closes, do you have any of that data as far as like how many leads are calling to how many contracts you're getting? Because obviously you're getting a lot of leads.
yeah.
Good question.
And my thing is like I've been doing marketing with Courtney for a little bit, or we just now really started, honestly. And it's just now starting to heat up. Like I said, I got my first deal. That's dispoed. It's gonna be a small one, but it's still we're still working on it. I got it today and I got it dispoed, so I'm happy with that. But I've been buying leads just to try to like get the revenue up with like a pay per lead service, and it's been good. I've done probably like 40K in the last like 3 weeks, so I'm happy about like I'm bringing money in, so I'm actually starting to be able to put more money back in. But I think sometimes I hear about people going like, oh yeah, my lead to close rate is like 1 to 10, you know, like I'm closing 1 out of 10 leads. What is like, sometimes that's discouraging for me because I'm like, damn, I'm not doing that right now. Like what are your KPIs as far as like how many leads you're getting, how many deals you're getting out of those leads?
Yeah, I mean, on Google, it's a much higher intent. They also cost a lot more. So we are closing 1 out of 10 on Google. On Facebook, it's like 1 out of 15, I would say on average on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, which we want to get that lower, which we will.
For sure.
We've only been with Courtney for 30 days. So there's a lot of, we need to do a lot of growing. And we know that the leads are going to heat up even more. The first 30 days, we're not even supposed to close a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me. He calls me like, "Hey, Courtney, what are your best clients closing at right now?" And I told him, he was like, all right, I know we just started, but I need to get to that number. And I'm like, okay, dude, dang, this is what I'm talking about. And like, just constantly just keep on just knocking at it. But like, and you asked what else? You asked what is the lead to contract, and you asked they only have 1 out of 8 fall out. What is it, like I don't even know the percentage of that, guys. I'm not that good at math, even though I'm a lead. But that's a really good success rate. And what else do you have asked, Noah?
I think that was pretty much it. Just like what their close rate was on those leads that they were getting under contract. Because I've sent out some, like, obviously my underwriting is getting better too. Like, so like when I'm actually on the phone, I'm giving them better prices now. So like my contract rate is my contract close is better. But yeah, just like overall KPIs, I'm trying to dial it in and get my sales process down better. So yeah, just mainly KPI stuff.
No, another big thing is, I don't know if you have people on your team or like you have like VAs or something. I would say a big thing that helped us is just dialing down the systems and processes. Like, do the same thing for every single lead that comes in and treat each deal the same way. Like, so you're not all over the place.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up, do the same thing, have the same system, same process, adjust your system where it's wrong, fix it, tweak it, and really dial that down. Because the only reason me and him are able to close so many deals and do so much is not because we have so many people working for us. It's just me and him. It's our system is dialed down so well that we're in the same room. He's closing deals. I'm over here dispoing deals, like, and it's just like a machine,
Yeah.
What's y'all's ad spend right now?
16,000.
Okay.
Hey
And-
guys, I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Angelica. Hey, I was wondering, so if you're demonstrating to the seller that you're showing sellers what buyers are willing to pay, how do you do that? Because do you visually show them through a Zoom or a FaceTime? Do you show them what buyers are paying, like cash buyers? On prop stream, you said like you might give them like a 72 hours to show them actual buyers, but then do you risk signing, like calling them back 3 days later with buyers to show them what the property actually goes for, and signing with them 3 days later because you risk them signing with another wholesaler? And how do you visually demonstrate that to them? Do you send them like messages with like screenshots or yeah?
Yeah.
Because I
So
guess if you lowball them, you got to show them why.
right. You're saying when we tell them we're gonna wholesale it, basically?
Yeah, because you agree with them that the reason why they're getting these offers at this range, and then you start telling them why, because it's not worth that much. But how do you demonstrate to them visually? And if you do it, do you close them on the same call, or do you like literally come back with proof of what buyers are willing to pay 72
No.
hours later?
We
And
close
what
on-
visuals do you give them?
We put them under contract on the same call, and then we bring them offers that are emailed to us from buyers.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
So let's say the 100K offer you were saying. So let's say, hey, I want 105, but cash buyers are willing to pay 90 in there, right? So let's say you say, hey, I got to offer you 70. So once you say 70, like, are you like locking them up for 70, or are you locking them up for like that 90? Like, where are you locking them up at? And then when you go back to them and actually show them, like, hey, people are willing to pay 90 or 85 in this area, and I'm gonna make a little bit.
No, so typically, like, if I know that I probably need to get it a little lower, but maybe there's a chance I could sell it, then I'm gonna tell them I'm gonna go find a buyer because I can't pay this much. We'll put on the contract this price that you want, that you're saying you want, or a price that we could agree to, so I could put it under contract. And then when I get the offers from the buyers, I show them, these are the offers we're getting. This is what they're willing to pay. And then they already know I'm making a spread in there. So we, typically on those, we're only making 5, but it's either we make 5 or we make nothing if they're not going to do a deal with us anyway. So.
Okay. That was a great question. So thank you guys so much, Nick. In that, but I do kind of want to introduce you guys because I think some of you guys are heavy hitters in the place, and this is, I feel like this is what this for. We got Christian in the chat. He's at 170K, and it's him. He's currently building his team. So Nick, you probably can see the next hiring point for you guys on what Christian doing. He's doing over 6 figures a month as well. We got Anthony on here as well. Anthony, the real estate hero, guys. Literally, he like check him out on Instagram. He's already posting on Instagram. He got a successful company. He's gonna be hosting one of these calls as well. We got Kevin in the chat as well. We got JT. He's really big in like creative finance, anything creative finance, guys. There's some heavy hitters in here. But Nick, Teeshan, guys, you guys are killing it. I'm so happy to be a part of you guys' success and have it in there. So when you guys get too rich, don't forget about me. But thank you guys. I know it's an hour out of your day. You could have been making some dials, closing some deals, get some contracts, but you actually showed up. You came on and you were the first one to say yeah. So you got the first slot and you came in here. And guys, we're just gonna keep doing this. So I really
Absolutely.
want to congratulate you guys and thank you guys so much.
Courtney, thank you. We're gonna keep growing. The leads have been fire so far, so let's keep them coming.
All right, guys. So that sounds like it's it for today, guys.